What's good, everybody? It's your boy SJK. First Black Super Saiyan World Bible. I'm back here with another live stream. This live stream is going to go to members only, like the other live streams this past couple weeks. So if you want to see these, become a member. And these portions will be clipped out like the past videos this week and, turned into a video.
Can I do the thing when I share it to my audience? I'll be like, the first segment is the SAG-AFTRA thing. And then when we're done I'll say, join us on K-Dot.
You can if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I want to. But if it's going to interfere with your membership stuff, I don't want to. I'll delete it right after we're done.
I mean, the past couple videos I dropped like recently have been from the streams just chopped up and edited and stuff.
So I'll delete it. I'll just have it live for now, just so like people who watch my channel know, come here, and then like it'll be gone, so it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, you can still leave it up. It's up to you.
I won't leave it up if you're gonna hide it behind a paywall. You inner YouTuber talk, everybody. This is how we actually speak. All right, bro.
SAG-AFTRA strike is official. So which topic you want to hit first? Because we only have two. We have the Black Panther EA topic. If you do have another one, we can hit it.
Well, the poster talk also, but right now we got to begin with the poster for Wish, like you saw on Twitter. But I want to start with SAG-AFTRA for sure.
Oh wait, what poster?
The poster for Wish, the new Disney movie where it's a black princess or main character. I don't know if she's a princess. They made the light on her face so that you could see like, a distorted image, the same way they did for Little Mermaid, where they put a light on her face in the international poster. Because, the people over across the pond, they don't favor darker skinned human beings. They go like, ugh, yucky. This makes us feel uncomfortable. And so Disney just placates to them rather than, showing a person with the same posters you have domestically with their face all up in there, they're black, celebrated. They don't do that. I'll tell you later. But for now, are you muted or am I muted?
Yeah. So it's up to you. Well, you said you want to hit SAG-AFTRA. Let's go ahead and hit SAG-AFTRA first. Let's go ahead and get a official article from, who's it could be, Variety, whatever. Los Angeles Times. They should be the perfect place to be talking about Hollywood stuff. This totally not going to be a article that's going to have some tomfoolery in it. I hope it's a fair article. This is
but look, it's very telling. Variety and Hollywood Reporter report on the industry, and we know that there are plants who give stuff to like Entertainment Weekly, and they're fed these things, right? These so-called exclusives. We know you guys are in bed with the studios. So when LA Times does it, it feels like the working man, and I haven't read the article. Maybe I'll be totally wrong, K-Dot. So maybe you should read it first before I sound like an idiot. But still, I'm just saying there's a reason why LA Times is going to report it the way that they're going to report it now. Now watch them prove me wrong.
Well, real quick, if you notice, they really didn't. Well, let's go ahead and read it first. Knock it out the way. Hollywood actors poised to strike after SAG-AFTRA contract expires with no deal. The union representing Hollywood actors.
Embiggen the font, please. Thank you.
The union representing Hollywood actors is poised to strike and join writers on the picket lines and back-to-back walkouts for the first time since 1960. Okay, so the last time this happened was 1960. It's a long time ago. That's near civil rights. Widening the labor conflict that has roiled the film and TV industry. Despite the involvement of a federal mediator who was brought in at the 11th hour to help resolve the conflict, groups representing the actors and studios were unable to agree to a new film and TV contract before a Wednesday night deadline. So far, I'll just say this. You guys, I support this strike. I support the writers doing what they got to do, and I support the actors doing what they have to do. Because at the end of the day, I think Hollywood needs this drastically. We're stuck in a climate, real quick, that Hollywood created where people is willing to wait for streaming for almost any movie at this point. Even some of the Marvel movies and stuff that they have grown up to like, and some people grew up with this stuff, and they're willing to go like, I'm just waiting till streaming. Now, films like Avengers 5, people are definitely going to go to the theaters, but Eternals, people are going to wait for streaming. I'm sorry, that's a film someone can easily wait for streaming. It's characters that no one that they don't know about, they don't care for. Guardians 3, they want to go see that because they care for it. They care to see this final outing of these characters and stuff, and James Gunn leaving to go to DC Studios. We seen recently with the film Prey, and I was actually shocked because I talked about this on Twitter. This film had a budget.
I saw your video.
This film had a budget of $65 million, and they decided to send this film straight to streaming. Now, just imagine if Disney said, "Hey, 65 million, we can easily make that back. Let's throw it in the movie theater. It's part of the Predator franchise. I get it. They make this clear. The franchise has had its ups and downs, but at least it has the name Predator attached to it, to where people would go. That's 65 million. Disney promoting a Predator film, I guarantee you would have probably made 250.
At least,
That's easily profit. That is profit. You made back the budget. You made back at least the marketing. Hell, it probably would have hit 300.
And whatever benefit you were gonna get from streaming by putting it straight to Disney Plus, you'd get that anyway. When now coming to Disney Plus is a movie theater quality film, and it's got the same people happy. The streaming thing should always be considered the dead end, the final destination for all these projects.
Agreed. And just looking at, just give people, Warner Brothers did this in 2021 with their whole slate. Jason Kilar, and I'm glad he got fired. I didn't like his decision of what he did when he just straight up sent all these movies straight to streaming without telling, Patty Jenkins, James Gunn, all the people who worked on this, Denis Villeneuve and other people, and he just sends all this stuff straight to streaming. And it's like, dude, you just sacrificed Godzilla versus Kong, the Suicide Squad, a Wonder Woman film, Dune, Matrix 4, like the little things. Okay, I understand you send that to streaming. It's a Denzel movie, but that's nothing big. It's just a little crime film. All right, cool. In Mortal Kombat, they sent too many big IP stuff straight to streaming.
Especially when Wonder Woman 84 failed, and that was the first one they did. I think that was the Christmas Day release, right? Wasn't it?
Yep.
And then ever since that, they should have said, "Oh, I guess this doesn't work." But they're like, "No, we'll crack this cookie. We'll try another and another." And date has died. At least we have proven data to prove that it doesn't work, and no studio should try it again. I like that not Quantumania. What's it called? Guardians 3 hasn't come to Disney Plus yet. They are realizing, okay, let's teach our audience to wait. Little Mermaid also hasn't. It released in May, and it's been 2 months, and there's no release date coming to Disney Plus. It used to be 60 days. Yeah, we're there. I want to push back on the SAG-AFTRA. You said you supported them, and you're in full support. Just to be the contrarian, because they folded at the last strike, like in 2009.
Yeah.
I can't support these with full, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead, guys. You guys are wimps.
Well, see, that's what I think. I think everyone's going to easily fold. I don't see this stretching longer than the previous strike that we had. The last strike from back near 2007 lasted only 100 days, right? That's 3 months. And, like I say, I hope they thug it out this time and, they actually stay strong. But mind you, some of these actors, all they got is all they got is acting. Like, I don't know if any of them got brand deals. I don't even think they can do commercials and stuff if they are attached to like certain brands like Nissan or something. I don't think they can do commercials. I'm not too sure if they could. I hope, but I'm not sure. What's good, Professor Dark Hope?
What's up? If you're watching on my YouTube channel, make sure that you come over to K-Dot's channel because that's where this stream is happening.
Shouts out to Anon. Thank you, Chill, for the promotion. What's good, Eric the Guapo? Let's finish up this article, guys. By an overwhelming 98%, the union's members previously authorized their leaders to call a strike if they could not secure a new contract to replace one that was originally set to expire June 30th. After we finish the article, guys, we're going to get to some comments that Bob Iger has made that came out today, but they're not going to be in this article. SAG-AFTRA leaders said early Thursday that the Guild's negotiating committee had voted unanimously to recommend to the union's national board of directors that they formally approve a strike action, which could begin as early as Friday, with pickets likely to take place in Los Angeles, New York, and other cities.
Side note, I just read that the London premiere for Mission Impossible will be pushed an hour earlier, just so that they can make it before the strike hits at midnight Pacific, right? They want to make it so that they can do all their interviews and all the not writers, but the actors can do their commitments to not hurt Mission Impossible.
But
Oppenheimer. I said Mission Impossible. It's Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer and Barbie. So Barbie was recently doing some press junkets on their little red carpet thing. They can't do that anymore. They can't even do a red carpet. Same here for Oppenheimer. So they just gotta straight up release it. And I don't even think they can really release trailers. I'm not sure if they could.
Really?
Well, I think the studio could release trailers. Well, because we'll get to the rules in a second. They listed out the rules of what the actors cannot do.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Let me bring it up because I have it exactly right here.
And actors are rich, so they got a backbone. They have everything paid for. The carpet at Barbie was going to be pink. We know that.
Well, that's the thing with these actors, because I'm wondering, like, what other money and income will they have, like, unless they're going to start working at a grocery outlet?
Oh, like the Cosby Show guy?
Yeah. During the SAG-AFTRA strike, actors will not be allowed to film any movie and TV productions, take part in any press junkets or film premieres, promote anything at San Diego Comic-Con, and will be advised not to attend at all. Well, San Diego Comic-Con is meant to be for comics anyways. The movie industry has hijacked San Diego Comic-Con. What's up, Arkham? What's up, Terrell? Actors do get some royalties, so they should be able to hold out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, that's the thing. Taking money from the enemy.
Can't you do independent movies, though? Why has it got to be the enemy? Why can't you find some like guy who deserves a chance?
Well, I think they can, release a bootleg movie on YouTube, but it can't go through like any official Hollywood thing.
Yeah, but
they can probably like film like a YouTube movie on a little iPhone and say, here, Leonardo and Leonardo and Matt Reeves might want to do a little short film on YouTube.
But before Paramount or Netflix get to distribute it, you got the movie filmed already, and you're using your time efficiently. So yeah, you think that at the time you're doing a movie for nothing for YouTube, but when the time comes, the movie's edited and it's produced and it's ready to be sold, you show it at a film festival, and then Warner Brothers starts bidding on it. Like by the time the strike is over, everybody will win. It's a win-win situation in my books, unless it's against the rules, which you're about to read now.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the second paragraph because it might fill us in more. SAG-AFTRA negotiated in good faith and was eager to reach a deal that sufficiently addressed performer needs, but the AMTMP's responses to the union's most important proposals have been insulting and disrespectful of our massive contribution to this industry, said SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher in a statement. The companies have refused to meaningfully engage on some topics, and the others completely stonewalled us. I'll show you some of the comments someone from a studio said of their tactic with these writers during the strike. SAG-AFTRA's national board will vote Thursday morning on whether to strike. The union said it has plans to hold a news conference at noon in Los Angeles after the vote. Tensions escalated on Tuesday when SAG-AFTRA blasted the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents the studios in labor negotiations, over a last-minute proposal to bring in a federal mediator to help resolve the labor conflict. Real quick, let me show you guys the comment that was made of the tactic of these studios.
Oh, I saw Cole tweet that tweet also.
Yeah, and pretty much all of them are all in the same boat on this. Warner Brothers, Disney, and all of them. Paramount.
Share my screen. I got it open.
Got it.
The studio's streamers reportedly have no intentions of negotiating with the Writers Guild for several more months. The end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses, a studio executive tells Deadline.
I think scroll down a bit. I think well, to flesh it out some more, one of them said like it's fucked up, but it's like a necessary action they need to take to do this.
Yeah, the end game is to allow things to drag on. Union, acknowledging the cold as ice approach, several other sources reiterated the statement. One insider called it a cruel but necessary evil.
Yep.
Dog, you guys are the studios. You have the money. There's no way I'm supporting this at all. Sorry.
Right. These they're acting cheap. Especially David Zaslav. He didn't say nothing yet, but he's going to be acting pretty cheap soon. I have a question. How long do you think these strikes will last? Because eventually actors will run out of money, and same thing with the writers. Well, I think they're all invested at this point because I really have not seen any actor like pushing back. Anthony Mackie talked about in a recent interview about the Avengers 5 thing, like, you know, this strike is going to happen. And he was hoping they would come reach a deal, and they haven't. So yeah, I haven't really seen any actors against this until we start to see what actors, if any actors and writers start folding, they'll make it clear. But nobody has folded as of yet. There was fears of this happening. I know a lot of the actors did not want this to happen, but I think a lot of these actors are invested to strike with these writers because all of them want something to change. You know, and like I say, guys, even this is the prime example of why this strike needs to happen. It's sorry to say it, but like the situation with Batgirl, I'm sorry, but that is one of the reasons why this needs to happen. And it's not. Let's not make it a DC thing because it's not that. Let's just make this a art situation. You brought back Brendan Fraser, mind you. Brendan Fraser got banished from Hollywood for years. Dude got sexually assaulted, called out the person that sexually assaulted him, and been, you know, pushed out of Hollywood.
He said it by name. He said, who was the guy?
I forgot who it was, but he called out the guy.
Oh.
He spoke up about it and was open and honest, and you know, he got blackballed by Hollywood. You brought him back to this movie. You got Michael Keaton back in this movie. Michael Keaton is a Warner Brothers veteran. He did Beetlejuice, Batman, and many other films for Warner Brothers. You got Leslie Grace coming on. You got these new up and coming directors. They did the Miss Marvel episode, right?
And they did Bad Boys 3.
And they did Bad Boys 3, directed a good movie. This film was pretty much almost done. Almost done. There was past post-production at that point. And then David Zaslav comes in, cancel it. Whether people thought the film was going to be good or bad, that is not the point. They just came in here and straight up took away these people work. Yeah, they got paid. That's fine. But mind you, they had to fly to a different country just to go film all these little scenes and stuff, to go like film scenes that only last like maybe 5 minutes. And then this happened. Oh, we're going to cancel your movie, blah, blah, blah. Like, that to me, that was very much anti-art. That is not pro-art. This is the reason why this strike needs to happen. I understand people did not want this movie to come out, but the way they went about getting rid of this movie was shady. I'm sorry. I can't defend that.
And think about... Sorry.
Because there's a lot of projects I don't want to see happen, like Echo, right? Look, I'm not interested in Echo, but I would not want to see Echo just get shelved. Right? Just release it. Release it all at once if you want to, but at least release it. Hell, when they decided to cut this, this movie was like 90 million. They only saved 20 million from that, and they lost 70. All right, I guess you really saved. I mean, I guess save 20, whatever. Like you could have, if they wanted to. I mean, they're doing the same thing with Blue Beetle. They're putting it in theaters. The film is less than 100 million. Could have easily made the profit back. Not saying the movie would have done 300 million. Not saying it would have did 400 million. But you definitely would have made over 90 million. I guarantee that. But no, stuff like this, like wasting all these actors' time, directors, that's not cool. That's not cool. And this is the reason why this strike needs to happen. This
The
strike
role
has to happen.
Leslie Grace, up and coming. She just did her movie, the one with the the singing one, right? So she does that in the Heights.
Yeah.
She got all these phone calls. What do I do? What do I take? Oh, a superhero genre? That's gonna uplift my portfolio. This will set me up for years to come. I'm gonna introduce myself to another audience who didn't really see In the Heights. Here, this okay. Look at all of the things she turned down, which could have, and not just her, the directors. They did
Right.
2
It
episodes.
halted work. That's the thing. It halted work that they could have done too.
Yeah, they
But
could
you're
make.
correct.
How you know they weren't gonna be all over Ms. Marvel, and then they're like, we just can't do all the episodes because we got this other
Right. We gotta
project.
do Batgirl.
We got to do Batgirl. Can you imagine like the domino effects of that? Even Michael Keaton, the things he could have been doing and what he could have been contributing
And that's the
because
thing
this
too.
took their time.
Michael Keaton is like a Warner Brothers veteran. He's been with
Mm.
them for a long time. And the fact that David Zaslav came in and disrespected one of Warner Brothers like actors like that, it says it's like, dude, this is Michael Keaton. Imagine you just coming to Warner Brothers. Christopher Nolan been here working for a long time, making movies for you. Well, making movies for Warner Brothers. You come in here and say, "Yeah, Christopher Nolan, I don't like your movie you're doing here. We're going to cancel it." Mind you, Christopher Nolan been working with Warner Brothers for a good amount of time, making them some good money. Let's just say David Zaslav just canceled one of his movies randomly. Like, why? Like, I'm not saying you need to play favorites and all that, but there's a line of respect. And I understand that Zaslav wants to make money, but looking at what's going on now, he's losing money. Look at all the DC movies. They all been failing. The reason Zaslav took down Batgirl was because it was going to hurt the DC brand. He let Black Adam release. That movie, while I don't hate it, that shit's average at best. He released Shazam! Fury of the Gods, didn't promote the movie, thinking, oh yeah, let's just release it. The movie wasn't bad, but you're trying to protect the DC brand and you're not promoting the DC brand. You're releasing movies you're not promoting. That's part of the DC brand. But this movie is going to hurt the DC brand. How? You already released other movies that hurt the DC brand. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Black Adam, even The Flash hurt it. Ezra Miller led the movie. He's a criminal.
Bro.
You had a criminal leading your movie and you released it.
It's okay. Nobody will notice.
But Batgirl hurts the DC brand. The main actor isn't a criminal going around choking people, but it hurts the DC brand.
Why did Terrell Austin say Blue Beetle will make 100 million worldwide? What? Disagree.
I think Blue Beetle has a really low budget. If it makes, the movie needs to at least make like a little bit over 300 just to break even, because the budget is less than 150. It's like a little lower than Shazam. Shazam was 125 million. Shazam 2. So it needs to do Shazam 1 numbers just to break even. Their intent was not to waste actors' time. No one spends millions just wasting people's time. The company went through a regime change, and the new regime didn't want the movie for some reason. And I agree that the new regime didn't want the movie for some reason, but David Zaslav's reason was he didn't want Batgirl to hurt the DC brand. Flash just came out, and a criminal is leading the movie. That criminal hurt the Flash movie. It hurts the DC brand. But Batgirl hurts the DC brand. All right. I get it, Zaslav. Let's get back to the article. Like, Zaslav, he's just a business guy. He just cares about the numbers. The people he hires, that's why you hire people, because you're just there for the numbers. You hire people to do the work because they know what they're doing. You don't know nothing. You just care about numbers. All Zaslav cares about is money. He just cares about numbers. He don't care about nothing else. He's not creative. He's just a boss that cares for numbers. That's all. The AMTMP made the request for assistance from a federal mediator after several top Hollywood executives, including Warner Brothers Discovery boss David Zaslav, held calls to discuss the labor standoff. Who Zaslav was like, "Oh, you trying to take me money?" Leaders of the 160,000 member union called the move a cynical ploy, saying they had not been notified of the mediator proposal before news of it was leaked to a trade publication. And there was a little expectation that the mediator from the Federal Mediation and Constellation Service, who only joined negotiations on Wednesday, would have enough time to settle the conflict before the midnight deadline. That's the thing that happens a lot in these businesses. People finding out other things, especially in corporate businesses. No one's ever really direct with you. Like, working in even like a tech company and stuff. Not sure if anybody works in tech and stuff. Information you get told is never gets told to you directly. You always find out from the most random person that you should not be finding out from. Right? It's weird. Stuff you think your manager should be telling you, you'll find out from like the person that works another shift at your job. When they should be like telling you directly that information. It's the wildest thing. You think in these type of businesses they'd be so professional to that point, but they're not. They're just as childish as your local McDonald's that people work at.
So somebody in the live chat named Graham said, I work in the film industry here in Vancouver. The company I work for provides lighting to the various productions in town. The next few hours going to be interesting to see if I have a job. See, that's exactly what you were just talking about. Like the amount of communication that, I mean, assuming he's telling the truth, he's a Canadian, so he doesn't lie. But like the level of communication is so little. It's like, this is how worthless you people are. So let me throw something at Graham. How in are you? Yeah, you're going to lose your job. It's going to be interesting. I promise you, it'll be rough. How committed are you? Will you, for the future of the industry, not just you, but all of, your compadres, you guys are going to be in a loss. Like, will you sacrifice, or will you be like some friends that we have who are like, man, if I get married, I'm never going to get a prenup. I have to get a prenup. I'm not just going to get married without a prenup. And they fold and they get a prenup because they love the girl. Like, how committed are you?
Right. That's the thing. Graham, hopefully, you're not trolling us. I hope you're not. I hope you don't find out that you're going to lose your job. Like that's thing. And I hope at least if you're told this information, I don't want you to lose your job, but I hope at least the right person is supposed to tell you this information comes to you and tells you, and you don't hear from like, the person that works like 2 desks over from you. Yeah, man, you're fired. I'm fired too. Deuces. Like it's that type of stuff. In a lot of these, I work at a tech company right now. I'm not going to tell you guys what I do, but a lot of information that gets sent down the chain, it annoys me because it does not get sent down the chain to the proper channels. And like I say, there'll be another shift where I find out something from somebody else when I should be finding it out from the manager on my shift. Like why am I hearing this information from somebody on another shift when this should have been told to all of our shifts? I get it. Everyone has their own time and all that, but it gets annoying when the information can't get properly sent down. And mind you, it's just little things. Like you could have just easily sent me this message and I would have definitely got it.
You want things that work to come.
Well, like for example, we use Slack, we use Slack, and there'll be cases. I remember last week I had to supervise, right? And I didn't find out until I got there. Mind you, they could have told me like 4 hours ahead of time.
They don't rate you. If they respected you and honored you and valued you as a person that you are who has a life.
But let me make this clear though. I wasn't mad because the supervising isn't like complicated. It's not like a huge big task. I wasn't mad, but just imagine that happening constantly. Because I'm not a supervisor. I was temp supervising. Imagine the main supervisor dealing with stuff like that constantly, back to back to back to back. Like that was just me, and I'm just temporary, and I didn't know I was going to be supervising that day. It's like could have at least told me just 4 hours ahead of time. Just send me a quick message and hey, you're going to supervise. All right, cool. I got it. I'll do it. No issue. Just tell me ahead of time. Some of these businesses, they're not as professional as you guys think they are. They try to act like they are, but they're not. They're just as childish as your local McDonald's employees. But not trying to disrespect McDonald's employees. I'm saying they're no different than a fast food restaurant.
I understand.
I agree that people that make the content we all love and enjoy deserve more money. He works at Brazzers. I read somewhere that the VFX teams are underpaid too. They're all being treated poorly. VFX teams, they should go on strike too. They definitely should go on strike because how are they gonna make these big budget movies? VFX studios go on strike too.
But honestly, the VFX teams going on strike wouldn't even. So what? Like the movies aren't even being filmed. So yeah, you got no choice but to strike.
But like most of the, like for example, let's say they want to do like CG movies,
Yeah.
and you just hire like let's say foreign voice actors if they wanted to. I don't know. But at this point, people overseas, this is their time to benefit. Like companies overseas, they can go to these actors and stuff that what, they might just do that. I feel like these studios going to hire
Anime.
some people overseas.
Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to reach out overseas during this little strike.
Every couple of years, there's like a popular Netflix show that's overdubbed, that's like German or Korean or something, and people like it.
Yeah. Writers and actors need to draw a line in the sand for the benefit of all.
And VFX and everyone unite. This is your lives for the rest of your lives. Don't be,
Even
oh, things are rough because I don't have a job. Go work at McDonald's, go do Uber deliveries, figure it out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, look, it's not say you can't go do work. Like, just be like us common folk. We got to do, like I said, DoorDash to make some extra money here and there. YouTube, shoot, I'm not making bank on this stuff yet. I'm making money. I get paid, but it's like change. My regular job pays me way more.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
I love technology just like most other nerds, but just like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. That's facts. Lack of communication is common in every industry I work in, education, and oftentimes important information not communicated to us from our admin. And yeah, that's what does annoy me about jobs in general, is that it would make it just more professional if everybody could make some clear cut communication. Because most of the time, when people have issues at work, it's lack of communication going on for the most part.
Or communication you don't like when they're talking behind your back.
Right, that too. No one's really being honest about what they want. People are kind of wishy-washy and not very clear and concise about what they need while they're working at these places. Leaders of the 160,000 member union called to move a cynical ploy, saying they have not been notified of the media proposal for news of it was leaked to a trade publication. And there was little expectation that the mediator from the Federal Mediation and Constellation, I already read that shit. The Studio Alliance in a statement put the blame on SAG-AFTRA by saying the union rejected its offer of historic increases in pay and residuals, amongst other things, including a proposal to protect actors' likenesses amid the rise of AI.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Yeah, and AI is also fear too. We seen recently in the Secret Invasion thing. Now they cleared it up, but it could be AI still. That AI inspired intro, not to say that was AI, but Disney even playing around with that AI stuff in a Disney intro, it was like, ugh, it's kind of fishy.
Mm-hmm.
We are deeply disappointed that SAG-AFTRA has decided to walk away from negotiations. The AMPTP said this is the union's choice, not ours. Rather than continuing to negotiate, SAG-AFTRA has put us on a course that will deepen the financial hardship for thousands who depend on the industry for their livelihoods. Dang, look. You want to go through this whole article? Because I think we got the bigger picture.
I do have the big picture, and I have to repeat what I said earlier. You guys are floppers for the first time around in 2009. You guys gave up. You gave them what they wanted. Why should I believe you're going to do it this time and stick to it? How do I know that you're not going to be like they were saying? They're going to wait you out, make you desperate, and then you'll sign anything. That's how human nature is. Not everyone is like that. How many guys fold who are in gangs? They get arrested, they and then they fold and they start ratting on each other, even though they're not supposed to. But they look at all the time and they're like, do I really want to be in jail for that long? I was already in jail for this long. Okay, fine. I'll speak. I'll talk. Where do I sign? Is that the plea? Okay, people all the time fold. I'm just saying.
Right, and I think that's could happen here. I just hope that they're going to stay strong and actually not bow down this time. They got to go past 100 days. Y'all need to go maybe 300. We might have to go into 2025, take this to 2025 if we have to. In the meantime, if get a regular job. If you have to downsize to a house that's, or move in with somebody, do what you got to do. But if you guys want, the purpose of strikes and protests is to disrupt, right? You're not really making a dent if you're not disrupting. If we go out there and protest that, let's say where we live in a low income neighborhood, and we're trying to get the city to notice and recognize us more, that there's crime going on here, there's drugs, and these our kids are around it, and it's just a bad situation for them, and we need people to start caring and helping out the community. And if you're not disrupting anything, they're not going to care. I'm not saying you need to go around and destroy and a whole bunch of stuff, but look what's going on in Paris right now. I'm not saying they need to do this, but look at what they're doing in Paris.
You saw the
They're
zebra?
They have zebras, camels, horses, elephants, machine guns on sharks and stuff, terrorizing Paris right now. They are going crazy in Paris after the incident that happened there, and they are causing a disruption. I'm not saying it's something I would do, but that is how they're going to get them to notice. No, it's Paris, right?
I don't know if it's Paris, but somewhere in France.
Oh, Paris is France. You guys, and I hope chat correct me, but I think it is happening in Paris. A little, that big protest and stuff. But if you're not making any disruptions, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to pay attention. Eric said, I work for the Health Career Academy, and we found out our contracts to the local hospital were avoided because of new legislation that was passed. We found out from a charge nurse at the ER. Another great line from a movie that would have become as popular as it is without the right writer to put the pen to paper. The line must be drawn here no further. Captain Picard.
Okay.
Yep. And I hope with this strike, they're just not hiring anybody to do anything anymore. Actors too. I'm not saying actors can get opportunities, but just looking at recently with Christina Hodson, she wrote Flash. I say that's the first movie I've seen from her that was actually written not badly. But when she wrote Birds of Prey and Transformers, she wrote the Bumblebee movie. Granted, those were her first movies and stuff. She's still getting her things together. She's a fresh new writer, but it's like they're hiring just anybody. And you're hiring just anybody to handle big IPs. Now, if she's doing some indie work, some small little IP or original work, I totally understand. But you hired a fresh new writer to come write a Transformers movie. I'm not saying Transformers is something big and special.
It's expensive.
Is this an expensive big IP where you cannot risk just losing money? And Bumblebee made less than Transformers The Last Night. And then the recent Transformers movie, don't know who wrote it, but that movie made less than Transformers The Last Night. It literally just failed. It went to streaming yesterday, 2 days ago, and it's not going to make its profit back. It made less than
409 for 409 million.
Yeah, that's less than Last Night. And The Last Night made less than 4, which was $1 billion. Last Night made like 615 something. And I'm not saying it's just the writers that affect that. It's also the fact that people started losing hope in the Transformers brand, and they gave up on it. They can't even trick the international audience anymore to give these movies money.
Bruh.
With big IPs, you cannot just hire anybody, because you cannot take a risk with those. You can take a risk if you're at a point, you're like the MCU, right? With Phase 4, they took a bunch of risks. Some of those risks hurt, but is the MCU dead? Is the MCU dead? No, because it bounced back with Guardians after Ant-Man 3. Doesn't mean they're completely in the green. No, but they're not dead. Transformers wasn't at that point to do that. Taking all these, honestly, they don't take risks, but I'm sorry, you can't just hire anybody. They hired Jessica Gao to do She-Hulk, and she said, "I have no experience writing law stuff. Mind you, the show's about a lawyer. Why don't you hire the writers who are doing Better Call Saul? Hire them to come do your She-Hulk show. Better Call Saul is all about law. Hire them. Come on, it's not that hard."
You're like the Everest College. Why are you making this complicated? It's easy.
Right. That's ain't I understand there's rules and stuff, but these studios make it more complicated than it should be. I work in print. All it is miscommunication and lack of intel from sales to production. Not chaos is not a sound business model. And yeah, these companies just keep causing it. Like, just be clear on what you want. This was Warner Brothers' downfall, real quick. Not to make this a DC thing, but this was Warner Brothers' downfall with Zack Snyder. It was not clear to him what they wanted. They wanted They wanted a universe like the MCU. Zack Snyder didn't. And this lasted until 2017 when Zack Snyder had to step away, rest in peace to his daughter, to go deal with the situation. And they dragged this out for so long when they could have nipped it in the bud and say, Zack, we want a universe like the MCU. We don't want this. We're kind of done with you. Boom. Just say what you want. Just say it. Just be clear about it. It's going to be fucked up, but just say it. Be clear. Because look at the damage they have done by not being clear and concise. Look at where we're at now. Look at where the Flash is at. A failure. I like the movie, but that is a box office failure. I'm all for the strike to 2025. That will give rise to more indie films, which I'm all for. Yeah, like you guys, YouTubers, many people, go ahead and get y'all films ready that y'all want to do. Because I imagine a lot of people are going to be on YouTube watching stuff. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of content creators like Chill and many people that I watch on a daily basis. And you know, I'm kind of on YouTube more than like the streaming sites. Like Max, Netflix. I'm on YouTube more than, you know, those other sites, just watching content.
Star Wars Theory, RDC World. These guys, this is your opportunity. Put the money that you all have accumulated into a project.
RDC World's going to direct Avengers 5. Mm-hmm. With the strike happening, could there be a chance that some of the movies that have a 2025 release can be pushed back? Yeah, I don't think Superman Legacy at this point is going to release in 2025. If this strike, let's say, stretches into 2024, it's not releasing 2025. The Batman Part 2, they'll probably get pushed back to 2027. So there's going to be delays rolling into next year. Yep. And it's rumored that San Diego Comic-Con, they're supposed to release even a trailer for the Godzilla and Kong movie. They may not, well, they'll release a trailer, but the people there, they can't like promote it. Mm-hmm. You know, the actors can come out and say, yeah, man, you know, when I was on set with Zilla, man, stepped on me, bro. But it's all good. I got my get back. There's a lot of stuff they can't do. And they just got to stick by it. There's an episode in Black Mirror in the new season that showed how the use of someone's likeness can be used against a person. It was funny, but also scary to see it misused. Yeah, like, real quick, because we got to get on to the next topic, because I know me and Chill about to destroy this Black Panther game with kindness. Someone could use AI, make a video about me saying, women deserve to stay in the kitchen. Someone could put it out on a random channel. It might look so convincingly that it looks like me. And I don't know about it. Then I find out the next day, people blowing up my DMs. Why'd you say women gotta stay in the kitchen? I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I see the video. That's not me. And then I'm trying to break it down, explain like, it's not me, blah, blah. I gotta prove it, all that. And it looks convincing. There's some AI that's getting convincing. It's getting convincing to a point, and even there's some stuff that has tricked me. You know, you can tell when some stuff is AI. Like a lot of these AI pictures, if you see messed up, stubby little fingers, it's an AI. Oh shit!
I saw a fake Britney Spears a couple weeks ago, where she was acting like she wasn't all right, and it was AI. It was like a filter over the woman's face that somebody broke down, and they only broke it down because the filter it left her face for a second after she was like spinning, and he said then he paused that frame, and he's like, "You see, that's not her face," and then it went back to Britney Spears' face.
I'm trying to find it.
That by that Bob Iger thing you just pulled up, where he says the negotiations they're not being realistic. What doesn't saying that acknowledge that the studios aren't being fair? Like, hey, we know a realistic negotiation from okay, then do the realistic ones. What are you talking about? That's not a saying. That's not. There's no quote you're going to be able to give Bob Iger that's going to be helpful to your cause, because we see you guys for the rich guys who you are.
Yeah, and this was a very smug statement in general, because it's like it's like that. Look, what they want is not really unrealistic. You can afford it. Disney could afford it. They have Disneyland. They have all these different parks. They got Disney World. You're telling me they can't afford to pay these people, and they have all this revenue and money coming in from theme parks, movies, mainly the theme parks. Look at a ticket to go to Disneyland is like what, $100 each? From what I remember, we spent like I think $100 for a ticket. That's what I remember. I haven't been to Disneyland in a while, but those tickets was expensive. And then the food that they sell you there, it's like at all theme parks, like food. At most, you're gonna be spending over $15 for a lot of the food there. And then merchandise, they got some pretty whack lightsabers there that are cheap, and they're selling them, and they're pretty expensive. I bought one, and that thing was shit. It was crap. I hated it.
Damn.
But yeah, Bob Iger, man. See, but since he is tied to the MCU brand, and you know we don't enjoy the MCU over here.
Yeah.
I'll just say this to DC. I'll just shouts out DC. I'll just say this to Bob Iger. Bob Iger, this is for you.
You down with that? You ain't down with that? Shut your goddamn ass up. Give me a next.
Okay.
I had to do it to him. He he's out here repping the MCU.
He didn't recast T'Challa, so he gets it.
Let me show you the other thing Bob Iger said. Did you see what he said about the quantity, the output they're doing at Disney? Okay, so let me show you this.
I'm worried. He's trying to say, "Oh no, we're gonna slow things down and have a more moderate output," because that's not what the problem is. The problem is Jessica Gao was your writer of She-Hulk.
So this is what he said. He said, Bob Iger says Marvel Studios' increase in movie output and introduction of TV shows has diluted audiences' focuses and attention.
Yeah, that's true.
To an extent, but I don't think it's that. Like you said, I think it's just the quality of it.
That's
You can have all that output. It's just the quality is not lining up with it. But yes, to an extent, too much can hurt, because you look at the Arrowverse shows. The problem with the Arrowverse shows is not the fact that it's really the writing for the most part. Yes, there's writing, but they dragged out something that was already good. They took the Flash, which peaked at season 3, dragged it to 9, and the show ended badly. Like, was dragging it out really worth it after all these years? You left a bad taste in people's mouths from this TV show.
Mm-hmm. Everyone joining on the Chillmonger YouTube channel, I'm closing it out. But that doesn't mean that we're going anywhere. We're continuing here on ssjk.sanctum. So click on that link.
Yep. Thank you all for watching. We're going to go ahead and close this topic out and move on to the next one, because we need to talk about the Black Panther. The Black Panther. With an A. Not an E, not an R.
Speaking of diluting, when Chadwick Boseman died, unfortunate, sad, they did something where they didn't use the character anymore. They said, okay, well, there's Black Panther, but we'll dilute it. It's not about this one guy anymore. It's about her. It's about the next Black Panther. You see? Because, it wasn't called T'Challa. It was called Black Panther. Okay. Now here comes the video game shit. And they're continuing the pattern of taking what's special about him and dividing it into the pieces. hey, you like T'Challa? Well, there's this new character. His name is also T'Challa, so it's less special because there's two T'Challa. Hey, the video game we're gonna play is gonna have T'Challa dying, and you get to be the Black Panther. Isn't that cool? Isn't that immersive that you get to play the Black Panther? I want to be the Black Panther, not a Black Panther. Why did
So
you not do that for Spider-Man or any of the heroes?
so let me show the rumor that came out last year about this game, and this is why we
I saw
are getting into. I DM'd it to you, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I saw it when it came out.
So a lot of people, there's some people who will remember it. You know, shouts out Recast T'Challa. I saw some people that remembered it. So before we get into talking about this article, this is from Dextero. We're going to read the Dextero article, but this is the rumor that came out June 25th, 2022 from the source Jeff Grubb. Now, I'm not saying this dude is like, you know, I don't know how correct he has been, but he's the source. So let's take this. Let's talk as if this is a rumor, guys. This is a rumor at the moment. A single player open world RPG Black Panther game is in early development and will be published by EA. EA Black Panther game, everything we know so far. EA. All right. The game will begin with the death of one Black Panther as players look to take on the mantle. It's unclear if T'Challa will be the playable Black Panther.
No, it's pretty clear. They didn't use the word T'Challa.
Which is kind of sus because it's like, okay, all right. This game could take place in the 1800s. It could take place in the 700s. We don't know. But the fact is, this is going to be the first ever solo Black Panther game in existence. I think Black Panther was in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. He was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah.
He had a DLC in the recent Avengers game, which was a game that not a lot of people liked. And it's they don't make it clear in this article that we're going to read that T'Challa is the main character, which he should be. This is the first ever solo Black Panther game, and you're not being clear if T'Challa is the lead character. Chill, anything else you want to say before I read this article and we go through what we know about this game so far?
If you're not all in with me on my conspiracy theory that they're diluting the brand of Black Panther, it should have gotten this this popular, and they meaning just people all around who don't want Black people to succeed. If you're not with me, you're gullible. If you don't see it, then you're not looking for it, and you got your head in the sand, because at every single corner of the Black Panther, they try to rip it apart into the pieces that make Black Panther so special. When you see something like this take off 2018, you pour gasoline on that fire. They did it with Iron Man. No one expected Iron Man to be what it was. There was hopes. It did, and they never stopped giving Iron Man love and attention. I just saw a leak. Maybe I shouldn't speak on that, but go ahead and get out.
Marvel Games has multiple projects in development with various third-party partners. Of course, Insomniac has teams hard at work on producing Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the Wolverine starring adventure. Meanwhile, Annie Henning's crew at Skydance Media is working on a narrative-driven experience set during World War II. This particular title will feature the likes of Captain America and Black Panther, specifically T'Challa's grandfather.
Yeah, Azuri.
So the game with Captain America and Black Panther is going to be like it's a duo game. It's not really a solo project for either one. It's a duo game.
Even that, though, I do have an issue with any association of the word Black Panther. And it's not with the main guy. It's teaching your audience that Black Panther, that's who's it this time character. And I don't want that. Every effort
is just a mantle. That's what
it's just mantle. Oh yeah, that's the mantle thing. It's kind of like Green Lantern. We just learned this week that there's going to be a third. A Guy Gardner is going to be part of DCU, and I don't think that's to the benefit of the Green Lantern franchise to have like all these main guys. Just have a primary one. Likewise with Black Panther, have a primary Black Panther. We know who that is. Chadwick Boseman played him. Just recast and get someone else to play him in the movies. And in video games, I don't see the positive as of seeing that Captain America and the Black Panther. Now, if it's a Cap game and there's one mission with the Black Panther at the time, that would be cool. But still,
I think if they're going to do it like the recent Spider-Man 2 game, not sure if you've seen the trailers where they have Miles and Peter working together and you can switch between the two and they're weaving into the narrative together. But if it's like, you're playing as Cap majority of the time and T'Challa shows up for like maybe 1 or 3 missions. I mean, well, his grandfather.
Yeah.
I mean, does the character really need to be in it? I don't know yet.
I don't know, but if you want to teach the audience Black Panther isn't the T'Challa thing, and it's you're just splitting it. The enemy of representation is quantity, and that's what you're teaching about the brand. And side note about Miles Morales' video game that he had, isn't it disrespectful? And when you call the new Spider-Man game Spider-Man 2, like that Miles game didn't happen, yeah, it was DLC, exactly.
Oh yeah. I said it when it came out. I liked the game. I thought the story was weak, but the gameplay was great.
Uh-huh.
It felt like an expansion pass. That's why I said when the game came out, why are you making me pay $70 for a glorified expansion pass? The Miles Morales game is an expansion.
Yeah,
that's
it's the same
$70.
map. It's about the same thing as the first game, Insomniac
Same
game.
map. Only difference is it's snowing, and they added like a different building, and they just added like a small little building to the map that wasn't in the previous game. That's it.
And you're calling the new one Spider-Man 2, not 3.
Yep. Meanwhile, we already read that. In Electronics Arts EA Motive Studio announced a single player Iron Man game in 2022. That is not the only EA owned team making a Marvel branded game. The newly opened Cliffhanger Games just teases Black Panther project. So here's everything we know about it thus far. Just make clear the Iron Man game is about Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make that clear. It is about Tony Stark. It's not about what's that?
Rhodey. Riri.
It's not about Rhodey. What's that other person that isn't one of the doesn't one of the Kangs become like Iron Lad or something?
Oh yeah, Iron Lad, right?
It's not Kang as Iron Lad being Iron Man, it's Tony Stark.
Oh, nope.
It's
I don't know what it is about the Black Panther that makes everybody want to split it and not just focus on one guy to become on the same level as Superman and Batman, but rather can't get too hot.
It was the movie. Black Panther taught a lot of people to embrace Wakanda, which isn't wrong. Wakanda is just as much a big part of Black Panther lore, but you fall in love with Wakanda through T'Challa.
Yeah, it supports T'Challa. Just like the kingship supports T'Challa and his cast members who are supporting characters, keyword support.
Because now this is a wilder example, but which Marvel character invests you into New York the most? I say Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man who invests us all the most into New York. Iron Man stays in New York, but does he really invest us like that? No. Cap stays in New York, but he does. Well, he was New York born and raised, but even he doesn't get us invested like that. Spider-Man is what gets most people invested in New York, in the comics and even the movies and stuff. You know, that's Spider-Man's thing. He's New York. He's the heart of New York of Marvel.
Shout out to Kate right now, who's using the word Spider-Man, and not one of you were thinking about Miles Morales because we know who he was talking about.
Oh no, I was talking about Miguel O'Hara.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But yeah, you guys, we're gonna read what they have unveiled in this so people can understand what we could be expecting. But this game sounds fishy. It just sounds fishy. And it's come from EA. They have had some miss-ups. They had some slip-ups with a lot of games as of recent. Did they do Battlefront 2?
Yeah, they did.
And if you guys remember Battlefront 2 got in trouble because of a gambling situation. They have had other downfalls, but that was one of their biggest recent controversies was the Battlefront 2 gambling situation, if anybody remembers that. They have been losing faith with a lot of people. In celebrating the 57th anniversary of Black Panther's first appearance, Electronic Arts announced a new interactive experience starring the hero of Wakanda. The project is currently in the nascent phases of production, but fans can expect a third-person single-player game. So far, sounds good. A third-person single-player game? I love third-person single-player games. EA press release further teased the following. Our mission is to build an expansive and reactive world that empowers players to experience what it's like to take on the mantle of Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther. Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther. It's not that hard to just say T'Challa. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. Just say it. Just say the Black Panther, and you can put in quotations T'Challa. Like, just say it's T'Challa. I hope it's him, but this game's not making it clear if he's going to be the main character. And that's weird because these other games have made it clear who you're going to be playing as. In Insomniac's Wolverine game, when you saw the trailer, we saw that was James Howlett Logan. That was the Wolverine. It wasn't X-23 in the trailer. It was James Howlett Logan.
I think somebody really thought, kill him just like the movies. It'll match. Got to match the movies. And fans will like playing and being the Black Panther. Honestly, no matter how fun that is, getting to be the Chillmonger, the Black Panther, and I get to write that as my name. They'll call me that and everything. As cool as that is, that doesn't help or benefit the brand, which is really important to get kicked off. And having somebody who looks like that when he takes off his mask, somebody who looks like that being an important character in our fiction and just the zeitgeist, that elevating that should be the primary goal. And they don't get that. I hope that, yes, they're using the word Black Panther. They're not saying T'Challa. And that, a couple weeks later, they confirm, it is going to be about T'Challa. You guys are overreacting. I don't know why you guys started a petition. I'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I don't believe it, but yeah, fine. We got T'Challa. That's fine.
Right. Let me get to some of these comments real quick before we move on. Is this going to be Xbox Series X or PS5 game? I believe it's going to be for both, and I think it's going to be exclusive to just those consoles. Expect this game to be $70 too. Both from EA. We got all Batman games about Bruce Wayne. Why can't we get a Black Panther game about T'Challa? That's
Stop
true.
Looking for progressive in the Black community.
If we get a creative character for this game, bro, we can finally get an Asian Black Panther. I would buy K-Dot 5 copies of this game.
You can ban him for me, please.
Hey, custom creation, man. You know what? If you want to appeal to an audience, you got to allow everybody to be wanted and feel like they're welcome. So you got to give them options, create a white Black Panther or whatever. I'm not saying it's going to be a create a custom character thing, but someone also mentioned something on Twitter. And I think the movies did not do a good job at highlighting more of this. It's not to say that T'Challa's not interesting, because he is. His character himself is interesting. Him in the earlier comics being part of the reason to Wakanda became so advanced. His intellect, hell, in the comics, he's like king of multiple different galaxies. Or king of
intergalactic empire.
He owns his own intergalactic empire.
He joined the Avengers just to spy on the Avengers.
The Black Panther abilities, the way the films have shown them, you get a bulletproof suit where that can take on almost anything, deflects almost any weapon. You have general super strength. You can run fast, and you can jump very high. You have endurance, all that. No different than a super soldier. But there's more to it than just being a super soldier. You get enhanced smell, enhanced hearing, enhanced durability, which means most diseases can affect your body. The films have focused so much on Wakanda and the other people in it that they kind of distracted from building up the Black Panther. That's why I say in the recent Flash movie, this is what I like. I like that the director talked about the fact that Barry needs to eat a certain amount of food to keep his speed up, or talk about how he has to, when he phases his molecules are blending in with these other molecules to allow him to vibrate, at these super speeds and go through walls and stuff. Like breaking down what the character is and what makes him stand out from other speedsters. We never really seen that. And they showed why Barry stands out from others. And the fact that, he can go to the Speed Force. All these different things. T'Challa is interesting. Black Panther is interesting. But if this is a create your own character game, I mean, what are they going to explore? Are they going to have segments where they explore like T'Challa, a little segment show like T'Challa as a Black Panther using his enhanced strength to go hunting for animals, and just like in Red Dead Redemption, you hunt animals, bring back their pelts to the kingdom, and bring food for your people to show like his enhanced abilities without the suit in the game. All these side activities. if I think the films are heavily going to influence what this game will be. And the approach, the lack of letting us know who the lead character is, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me.
It's also the knowledge that they're not using the word T'Challa and they're only using Black Panther, right? So why not? Why are they withholding it? Probably because they know it's disappointing news, right?
Right, but and even then, like they say they're still in early phase. They probably haven't even and they probably have not even animated what the Black Panther's suit is going to look like yet in the game. They're probably still just drawing concept. But
I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. They should say T'Challa or do what they did here, where they just keep saying Black Panther, Black Panther.
No,
If it is if it is an individual guy who's unique and it is created here, and you get to name him and you get to be him,
right.
They could have said that here also if they decided.
That's why I agree, because in the board meeting when they had to promote this game to the investors and stuff, like, I want to do a Black Panther game. It's going to be about T'Challa. It's going to be open world. It's giant sandbox, third person. Boom. They would know all that stuff at the moment. Like, once they get into development, they're going to break it down some more. They're going to get deeper into it. They're going to, start developing more. But the pitch should have let them know T'Challa's in it. Right? So,
or Shuri. I feel the same way about Shuri too. Shuri is just like a dilution. We're going to keep saying that word. It dilutes the brand to think of Black Panther and not think of the guy and to have somebody else there.
Yeah.
Emmanuel just said, "Gonna be Shuri."
Oh, it might just be her. Well, the co-op game is set in World War II based on the Flag of Our Fathers comic, but EA, bro. Yeah, it should, and also EA. I'm not too fond of what they got going on. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think EA recently did the Battlefield game.
EA has the most disliked Reddit posts.
Yeah, you guys, EA recently did Battlefield 2042. That game is horrible. That is such a downgrade from Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 really didn't like, but this is such a downgrade from Battlefield 1. Not the first Battlefield 1, but the World War II based Battlefield game that came out. The downgrade was like next level. It's crazy. Let me get back to the article. The event will be produced by Cliffhanger Games, a new AAA development house based out of Seattle. Should have got Insomniac to do it. I don't know why they're getting these new studios to handle this IP.
Oh, they don't hold it with the same reverence you and I do. It's the black thing. We'll give it a new studio, sure. Comic books happen all the time, where comic book creators who get put on these books of Black Panther and other people who are not the white main lead guys. It's always like the rookies.
Yeah. Them just letting anybody just handle this property. I liked Gotham Knights when it came out, but I prefer if like Rocksteady, who did the Batman games, produced that game and not WB Montreal. Not saying WB Montreal is a bad studio, but I would have preferred that they got Rocksteady to do that instead. That's just what I prefer. But W Montreal, they only got like a couple games under the belt. Arkham Origins. They don't have a lot of games to where I can say, okay, I think you guys are worthy to do this Gotham Knights game. I didn't dislike Gotham Knights, guys. I liked it. Has issues. I liked it. But I have preferences on who would have done it better. Former Monolith Productions VP and studio head Kevin Steffens leaves Cliffhanger an interesting choice given that he oversaw the development of other licensed titles like Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is a very good game. The recent Wonder Woman game that's supposed to be coming out is going to take influence from that game too. But, it's not the studio working on it. They got one head from the studio here to work on it, but, chill, I'm worried.
I'm not worried. I already know it's happening. I'm past worried. It's confirmed. I'm not waiting around. I hope they do it. I don't. I know it's coming, and I'm gonna be. I don't need to be right, but I'm gonna be right. It sucks.
In a statement, Steffens wrote, "We are dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over their narrative than they have experienced in a story-driven game." Now, to me, that sound when they say control over their narrative sounds like, well, it is an RPG game, and it sounds like it's going to RPG route of create your own character, like your typical Skyrim game, your Fallout, where you make your own character, you get dialogue, and you play the game from there. You interact with the people in the world,
Yep.
and you are the protagonist. That's what this sounds like. I'm not saying it's not going to be T'Challa in an RPG setting, but it sounds like you're going to create your own character.
Create your own character. All the vibranium mound is missing, and we've got to go piece by piece. At the end of the level where there's like a giant banana in Donkey Kong, instead there's going to be more vibranium, and then you add that, weave it to your suit to increase your defenses, and as the game progresses, you gain more vibranium points. You don't need that. You don't need T'Challa for that cliffhanger.
There's currently no word on which direction Cliffhanger will take the plot. Even who will don the title of Black Panther remains a mystery. I don't know why that remains a mystery. You should know who should be donning your mantle, as they want to make it out to be. Might T'Challa serve as the Wakanda protector or someone else? I don't know why. And that's the thing. The fact that people right now can't even let us know that this is about T'Challa is where, with the amount of leaks that come out about these games, movies nowadays, it's just wild to me that nobody can figure out if this is going to be a T'Challa-led story. Not even the people, the creators of this game, can tell the media that, oh, T'Challa's leading the game. Like, you should have known this in your pitch.
Nah, see, he is leaving the game, and we know you're not going to like that. So we got to wait for the trailer to show you, and then you're going to be so wowed of how it's someone else being the Black Panther, and then you can name him, that you're going to be convinced. And there are, and I use this word lightly. No, I won't. No. I won't say the word. There are individuals in this world, when that trailer comes out and it's revealed it's not T'Challa. Yeah, but, and then they tell you all the nice things, and I'm going to be like, yo, do you not see what they're doing to the brand and how they dilute it? No, you don't? All right, go purchase, go fund your demise. Go, like, as they lessen what's special about this character, you guys are gonna say, yeah, but the trailer looked really cool. Okay, cool.
Terrell says, no Shuri, no the Wakandans, please. And even real quick, you guys, Shuri is a smart, intelligent. In the comics, she's a lot more of a fighter. Well, she can fight, unlike her movie persona, which is more tech based. She's more of the girl that sits behind the scenes and she, hops on the computer, compared to her comic counterpart. Mm-hmm. But the intelligence that she has remains the same. The issue with how they portray Shuri in the MCU was that it took away completely from T'Challa's showing T'Challa's intelligence in the stuff that he can create. They told us he created his suit. But here comes Shuri that created a way better suit than what he had. She created a suit that you just put on this necklace, you press a button, and your whole suit comes onto you. Hell, people punch you, and the kinetic energy pushes them back. Compared to T'Challa's suit. I'm not saying T'Challa, has to think of everything and not give Shuri a character an opportunity to be smart. But why couldn't T'Challa think of something like that? Why couldn't T'Challa create a suit that you just gotta, press a button and it goes over your whole body and everything, and you don't gotta take your helmet off. You just press a button and your helmet just covers you up. They gave all that stuff to Shuri. Shuri built she built most of the enhanced transportation, like the trains and all that stuff. Came up with the designs and everything. Hell, she fixed Ross's back. She kept Ross from being paralyzed from the waist down.
And they thought they were doing something so forward for women. And I say the enemy of representation is quantity.
Yep. Oh, and she also told Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, yeah, you guys built Ultron wrong. Let me show you guys a better way how to do it. She schooled them. And I love that more. I was like, yeah, freak you, Tony. You suck. But then looking at it now, you guys, they really took a lot from T'Challa
Mm-hmm.
and his intelligence. This man is one of the smartest minds in the Marvel universe. He's up there with Reed Richards. He's even beyond Reed Richards because Reed Richards sucks too. Fantastic Four fans, don't be mad, but it's facts. Jedi Rising launch. I did not get Jedi Rising launch, but I remember with Fallen Order, I got my copy on Xbox. Very glitchy game. My copy was very glitchy. Not saying everybody's copy was, but my copy was very glitchy. Did EA do the Avengers game? That was Square Enix, but EA was associated with that. I think they produced. No. It was Square Enix, but Square Enix produced. Square Enix, I think they distributed, but Crystal Dynamics, which is associated with Square Enix, made the game. But Square Enix was the parent over it. So, yeah, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics both worked on the Avengers game. Gotham Knights wanted to be live service so bad. Yeah, those elements that they had that was live service wasn't needed. Fernand, what do you think of the other Black Panther coming out, the Captain America and Grandfather of T'Challa Azuri game? I'm interested. Me personally, I'm interested in that one because I, want to explore that era when Captain America did run into a Black Panther. They didn't explore that in the MCU because did they have rights to T'Challa when First Avenger came out?
They've always had the rights.
Yeah, they just didn't put T'Challa in the right position or use the Black Panther stuff early enough. They use vibranium, which is a general thing in the universe, but it's more so associated with with Wakanda and T'Challa and Black Panther. But I kind of wish we found out like, hey, Steve Rogers, Chris Evans got beat up by a Black Panther in his past during World War II.
If they knew what was going to happen in 2018, they would have done it, and he would have had a bigger role in Civil War.
But see, at that time, who's the previous guy? Ike Perlmutter. Mm-hmm. He didn't truly believe in the project. And
you're right about Ike Perlmutter. But let's look at the Infinity War.
No, I think he wanted to push it out. It just he didn't want to push it out so quick.
It was the 18th movie of the MCU. When Infinity War and Endgame came out, you know that T'Challa's role was like, oh yeah, we'll do this thing, we'll give him a chance, and we'll represent him. When realistically, this guy just came off of a hit movie 3 months ago in February, and he's a world star. They went into the editing room and they're like, yo, take that B-roll footage of T'Challa, put the camera on him. When they're in a room and everyone's talking, put the camera on T'Challa, just so that he can get he can seem like he's like they are always for him, they're always supporting him. But realistically, he was just like a guy who was filmed to be a supporting character of that film, Infinity War Endgame show. If they knew what he was, he would have survived the blip. They would have not had T'Challa get blipped away.
Yep. But real quick, and you guys, there's a part of me that's glad he's gone, but there's a part of me that wishes he stayed because I think Marvel Studios would have been better off if Ike Perlmutter and Kevin Feige could have seen eye to eye. And I think what hurt their relationship so much was their political views. Because if you notice with the MCU, the political views after Ike Perlmutter comes out does change to an extent. Like the politics of these movies and stuff in general. They started becoming a lot more progressive, which isn't bad. Started embracing doing more female-led movies, person of color movies. No, I don't like that word, but black films, giving Kamala Khan a TV show. You probably wouldn't have seen this stuff during the Ike Perlmutter era, but both them. But I won't take away the fact from Ike Perlmutter that he was there when they was trying to put out stuff like Blade 1. He was there for a long time with Marvel, putting out movies like Blade 2. Yeah, Blade Trinity came out. That sucked. But he was there when Blade came out, and he was a part of that. And it's not saying he didn't want to do nothing with Black Panther, but it's like, I think both of them, if they could have got past their political issues in their division, I think they would have been like an unstoppable team. Because I just don't think Kevin Feige by himself is enough. because we kind of give Kevin Feige more credit and than usual for a lot of stuff in the MCU, because he does. Kevin Feige was a big part of it, and so was Ike Perlmutter with Marvel.
And so was John Favreau.
John Favreau too. Both of them would have been like dominating together with this Phase 4 stuff if they can just get past their little issues. But I think it was mainly due to politics of why they departed.
I also want to say Marcus and McFeely haven't been script writing anything. I don't get it. How do you do? Okay, so that's my point there. Yep. The women in the Marvel movies, they're warped. They think because Thor: Love and Thunder had what's her name? Jane, and the other one, Valkyrie. They're like, yeah, we're doing enough. No matter what, that was a Thor movie. He was the lead. Chris Hemsworth had the most lines. You just took away from a better story by introducing a female hero. You think you're being female enough, like it's a requirement? Go give me a Captain Marvel movie. Give me a Photon and a Captain Marvel movie. Then you convince me you're being female enough. But unless by adding women into the Moon Knight show or adding a woman presence into the Book of Boba Fett. I know that's not Marvel, but like every time you do these things, you're taking away from the lead and the primary goal, and your show will suffer from it because you guys don't freaking get what diversity means or the power of lead characters and the irrelevance of side characters. To harp on DC, I heard Perry White casting is going to be like Lawrence Fishburne again, or someone who's dark skinned, and that's so stupid. Nobody's celebrating because the like third, fourth, fifth important characters in the movie are black. No one cares.
And that's the thing. Like for example, the Batman, right? Jim Gordon, he was black, but at least that character was in a role where he's like a main supporting character. Like when they casted Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White, he wasn't bad as Perry White, but I literally did not care about him as Perry White. He was so forgettable. Like even the moment in Man of Steel when he had when he went to go help the other survivors and stuff and tried to help them out, I really didn't care about him. It's not because you race swapped him. I was like, you give Lawrence Fishburne this role and I'm not feeling that compelled with this. Okay, I mean, all right. Or I think you should have just gave him a bigger role. Hell, you should have made him Jor-El, Superman's dad. Not saying you should have made him Jor-El, but like if you're going to do it, at least put them in positions where they're going to shine. Like Jim Gordon with the Batman, he has to be in it because Jim Gordon is a big part of the movie too. There's literally have him and Batman doing a buddy cop thing.
And if you realize that your movie has too many white people for your liking and it makes you guys feel uneasy and you think you're being racist because that's the way racism works for you guys, all right, don't satisfy your we need to be black requirement in the new movie. Satisfy it in another movie. Okay, we did a movie that's really white. Let's go really black for a movie and give it $200 million budget, just like we did Man of Steel, and see the results from a static movie or Icon or somebody else. See what happens. They just got the wrong philosophy. I think they have the right requirement and the right mental state of we need to be less super, super white. So I agree with that then. But just the percentage points of this much of the cast needs to be that much of the cast, that shouldn't be it. Studio wide, you should say, yeah, percentage of our movies need to be led with people who just aren't Caucasian humans. We should have Asians and Latinos and the rest of everybody.
All right, guys, we're going to see if there's any more because we're going to get ready to close up in a bit because I know me and Chill got to get some rest. Let's finish up these last bits and we should be good to go. Black Panther, leader of the Wakanda tribe, is an epic Marvel. Black Panther, leader of the Wakanda tribe, is an epic Marvel character with 2 films, Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Just say T'Challa. Gosh dang.
But he's not the lead of Wakanda Forever. They
no. But it's right here. Black Panther, leader of the Wakanda tribe.
Oh,
the Black Panther. Look,
it's not even the Wakanda tribe though.
Yeah, he's not. He's not even the. Yes.
It's not
okay.
We
know in the we know in the comics the Black Panther and the kingship is separate, and in the movies they have made them synergize. They put them both together. But it's clear that Black Panther is Wakanda's protector. He's not the king. Yes, in the MCU, he's the king, but there's Black Panther is a protector. T'Challa is the leader, the king. It's like they go hand in hand, but they have there's a separation between the two.
They used to say the word chieftain in the early comics.
Yeah.
You read those?
Yes, sir. The comics where T'Challa destroyed the weak Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Amazing books. Trash team. So if you're a fan, I'm sorry, Fantastic Four fans, I have to say it. So if you're a fan, there's no better time to celebrate the legend in the form of a Lego build and display model set. The highly detailed set comes wearing the iconic Black Panther mask, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about the Lego set.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, that's appears to be it. This is the Lego set. If you guys want to go get it, it does look kind of cool. A lot of detail into it. But yeah, that's pretty much it of the story details of this Black Panther game. Honestly, at this point, this is not a film. So, if I had to spend $20 on this or something, I guess not a huge downfall. But $70, and if this is not about T'Challa leading it, I'm not buying this. I'll go spend my money on the Wolverine game. I'm really not interested in that Iron Man game either. I need to see it to believe it. But if the Captain America and Black Panther Azuri game does look like something promising, I might get that. But I'm mainly invested into the Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine game. Those are the only Marvel games I care about right now to even get. So I will see what they'll do. Hopefully, if T'Challa is leading the game, I'll get it. Because all the other things around this game sound interesting. The RPG aspect, the fact that it's open world, it's third person. You already sold me on that. But who's the lead character?
The idea of the Black Panther game is sold, yeah. Not T'Challa? Oh no, I'm not gonna fund this. I can't be like part of the oppressive force which is trying to dilute the brand. I really think like there's no, oh well, at least there's still a Black Panther game, guys. Look at the bright side. There's no silver lining. There's depreciating the valuable IP by spreading it into parts, and I don't want to fund it at all.
Yeah, and just taking out that the fact it's a Black Panther thing, why would I play a Black Panther game and it's not like the main person, or play a Wolverine game and it's X-23? Like we barely have enough Wolverine games for there to be an X-23 Wolverine game now. Yeah. We only had like one good solo Wolverine game, which was X-Men Origins, and this is, I think, the second solo Wolverine game. Yeah, you need to keep doing Logan until we get to a point where like, all right, we're time for X-23. Give it a couple years. But it's not time for X-23. We still need to see her get built up through like movies, the MCU, so you can make her a bigger brand. Because why take the risk in doing a X-23 game and not many people will be invested? You don't want to take those risks because you're going to fail. Because these games are too expensive to even make. Red Dead Redemption 2 cost $500 million to create. That is more than the budget of a movie, you guys. Let's make that clear. You cannot just do anything with these games. You need to know what you want to do. You need to plan ahead of time. You cannot take any shortcuts because these games are expensive to create. They are more expensive than movies. They take longer. They take 4 years or more to be created.
Unless you're Pokemon and Game Freak does it in 3 years.
Hey. That's different.
And they split their team. They'll do like a side game, and they'll have like the half of the team was working on this Legends Arceus or some stuff. It's crazy. I don't want to complain about Pokemon, but that's like the main game that I play, and I hate them.
Oh, Sega does the same thing with a lot of the Sonic games. Like Sonic Team is probably their best like team they have that makes their Sonic games. They have other teams that make Sonic games, but Sonic Team is probably their best. Now, when Sonic 06 came out, we're gonna close it up in like 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. Sonic 06 came out. Sonic Team worked on it. They pulled resources from that team. It was a small team, and Sonic 06 came out as a buggy mess for a lot of people. I didn't hate the story of the game, but that game, gameplay wise, was hard to play. It was not an easy game to get through. You had a bunch of glitches and stuff going on, and you pulled resources from one of your best teams that make the best Sonic games in your team, and you effed them over because you're trying to help another part of your team that wasn't even really working on nothing important, when your focus should have been Sonic 06. Because Sonic 06 was meant to be the Sonic game for the next generation. That's why it was released for 360. It's supposed to show the power of the 360. That was the point of it. Show the power of these new console generations.
Same with Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yep.
There's a huge difference between Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet. Way more aspirational in Scarlet Violet. Now, glitches are crazy. And if there was Twitter for the Sonic games, the way that the camera would move and it would just disappear, I would have loved to see Sonic 06 on Twitter.
I mean, people cook Sonic 06, but if Twitter was out back then, man, it would be a tough time to be a Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days. Remember going to Toys R Us, buying video games? Miss those days.
Renting them at Blockbuster. No?
You
never had that phase?
I did. I remember me and my friend went to go rent that Crash game, the kaiju game where he takes control of the people. You remember that Crash game?
Nah. Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, it was a Crash Bandicoot game, and he controls like creatures.
Oh, I must have not played it. I played the first one because my neighbors had it.
Crash of the Titans. It was called Crash of the Titans. It wasn't. It was this one.
No, I never played it. It must have been like one of the newer ones that then they went out of business.
I think this was around the time when they started to modernize Crash's design.
Yeah.
And they came out with this. You can control like monsters and stuff, kaiju. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chills. Any last things you want to say? Because I know you're tired. I'm tired. We got to get ready to close up.
Jonathan Majors is innocent.
We have heard nothing about Jonathan in a while.
I know. I'm waiting on a video. I'm waiting on some material.
When's the next court date? Isn't it? Didn't they already?
August 3.
August 3rd. All right, you guys. It's almost August 3rd. We're close. I just hope this is the final time we hear about this, because I don't want to get dragged out any sooner. He can't.
It's dragged out. They're gonna delay this court date for some reason. Yeah, it's getting dragged.
I don't know, man. Hey, Jonathan, I just hope the best for you. We got you, bro. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Innocent until proven guilty. Everyone deserves a chance to explain themselves and hopefully prove their innocence. You know, if they can't, then they're guilty. But if you can prove that you're innocent, cool. All right, you guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Chillmonger. Check me out, obviously. Thank you, Chillmonger, for streaming parts of my stream on your channel. This will be members only. Not yet. I'm gonna let it, run for today, but probably later tonight I'll make it members only, and clips from this stream will be made into a video, cut down, edited into separate videos. Thank y'all for watching. Recast T'Challa. Goes for that peace, love, positive, and all that jazz. No drugs, like I always say. Deuces. Recast T'Challa.
What'd you do?